But we need to understand that God has the power to change your bitterness into sweetness. I don't believe y'all praying with me. He has the power to change your bitterness into sweetness. They didn't add no sugar. They didn't add no honey. They didn't add nothing of sweet substance. But this tree absorbed all of the bitterness. God got a remedy. He got a recipe that can absorb all of your bitterness. Sometime you need to get to the point and say, I'm going to stay right here. It's going to get better after a while. The water going to get sweet after a while. But I'm going to stay here and let God work it out for me. If I flee, I might not make it to my destination. But I know that he just brought me 4 days ago through the Red Sea. And I know he ain't gone that far. He's still hanging around the pond. I don't believe y'all praying. God's still hanging around your situation. I want you to hold your head up, be encouraged from this message today that God can what? Engulf your bitterness. Just one tree that can change the flavor and direction or change your course. Just one little particular thing. It might be a person. It might be a thing. It might be an event. It might just be a miracle that God just put in your path and turn your situation totally around. Do a complete about face. Yesterday was bitter, but today it's like honey. I don't believe y'all praying with me. Some folk will look and say, child, what's wrong with him now? He was deeply depressed yesterday. He was deeply in this and that yesterday. Didn't know whether he was going to make it, but today his life story has changed. What happened? God cut down a tree and put in your bitter waters. And now your waters become sweet. And now you can drink it. Now you can drink as much as you want. And they got to the point they didn't want to leave the pond. I don't believe y'all praying with me. God will fix it that you don't want to leave. I'm going to be honest with it. God will fix it so you ain't going to want to leave Englewood. Just hang around the pond a little while and let God get through sweetening up the water. Let God get through dealing with some situations in the desert place. Let him get through. I know you're thirsty. I know you're excited about when it's going to happen. I'm just tired of waiting. He said, they that wait upon the Lord shall. See, when you got the shall in there, no matter how bitter your circumstances is, he says you shall. Doesn't matter how much of you are misunderstood, but you shall. He said, just wait on me, hang around the pool. And you know what? Moses had a hard time because the people started murmuring. This man, I ain't going to tell you what some of them probably called him because I think some of them was black folk. This so-and-so and got us out of here. At least they gave us water. It might have been dirty, but it tastes pretty good. And you done got us out here in the wilderness. You should have left us alone. We were doing all right where we was. But the God says, I wasn't all right because he wanted better for his people. He said, why did you cry unto me if you weren't satisfied? Why did you cry? Why did you mourn? He said, I've heard the prayers and the mourns of my children of Israel. Why did you call me? Why did you wake me up, really? If you didn't want me to better your circumstances, if you didn't want me to take you to the promised land, remember you're on your way to the promised land. And listen to me, from your Egyptian experience or encounter to your promised land are some situations that you must encounter. I don't know too many people who jumped out the crib into success. Or left their mother's womb into, ain't too many folk like that. Most of the folk that run in my circle had to go through some things. in order to get to the next level, had to go through some things in order to get to the promise that God has for them. But God says, when I get you to the promised land, I want to let you know that I want to be confident that you knew who brought you. That's why God put some stuff in our lives to let us know. He said, I could have blessed you and never showed up. I could have opened the door. I could have sweetened the water as soon as y'all got out of the Red Sea situation. He said, but I wanted you to know that when you come up against bitter waters, that I'll be there to make it sweet for you. I say unto Englewood, I say unto churches that is here, in all churches, don't worry. God just wants you to cry out unto him. Tell God about your situation. Cry from your heart. Stop talking about it. When you see you ain't doing nothing about it, and what you're talking about ain't making no progress, he says, cry unto the Lord. Amen. Just like he made the water at Myra bitter. Run from it. He said, just like I turned this water bitter, I'll turn it bitter where you're going. He said, you will get my message. He said, I sent you through this direction because I wanted you to get a message. I could have taken you in another direction, and perhaps the water would have been pleasant. But then again, when you will have made your safe arrival in the land that I had predestined for you, you won't praise me because you'll say what you did. It was my knowledge. It was my wisdom. It was my understanding. But he said, I had to draw a line through your self-righteousness. I had to draw a line through your self-will. Oh, I had to draw a line in between you and I to let you know my position in your life. Lord, and I heard the Lord saying to the children of Israel, he said, you shall be my people. Yeah, and all I want you to do is hearken unto my word. Yeah, he says, when I turn the water from normal water to bitterness, he said, I was preparing the foundation that you can hearken unto my word. Yeah, sometimes in life, God will, somebody ought to pray with me where God will turn your day into midnight. Yeah, he'll turn your glory moments into gloomy moments. Yes, he will, in order that you may know that I am God. Say yes, somebody. Yeah. And Moses told the children of Israel, yes, it is the Lord that answered our cry. Yeah, it is the Lord that caused us to cross over the Red Sea. It is the Lord that caused our bitter waters to get sweet. Say yes, somebody. He said, I'm not ready to destroy my people, but I will prove myself to my people. Not only that, God in the wilderness, they got thirsty before. On another occasion, he told Moses to smite the rock. Yeah, and water came out of the rock to satisfy their thirst. Say yes, somebody. somebody, they got hungry. Yes, they did. And how many of you know God's people will get hungry? Yeah. And he fed them with the manna that fell from heaven. Say yeah, somebody. Nobody knows who the chef was. Nobody knows who the dishwasher was. Nobody knows what name of the restaurant was. But all we know, it fell from heaven. It fell from heaven's kitchen. Say yes, somebody. What he was saying to you all is, whatever your needs are, God will. God will. Oh, God will. He'll supply your every need according to the riches and glory. Look at your neighbor. Say, neighbor, I'm going to wait right here. I'm going to wait right here until the water gets sweet. I'm going to wait right here until it's drinking time. I'm going to wait right here. Say yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, Lord. How many of y'all want some sweet water? Do you really want some sweet water? If you really want some sweet water, you need to cry out unto the Lord. Say, Father, you ain't saying that loud enough. Father, 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 I stretch my hand to thee. No other, no other, no other help I know. And if you withdraw yourself from me, oh, whither shall I go? I'm going to stay right here where he told me to stay. I'm going to stay right here and wait on the Lord. I'm going to stay on my bending knees. I'm going to cry out unto the Lord. Tell him all about my troubles. Tell him all about my trials. Tell him all about my triumphs. I'm going to tell him. I'm going to hold onto his hand. I'm going to stay under his blood. I'm going to trust in his word. Say yeah. I know he walks with me. He talks with me. He tells me help is on the way. Help is on the way. Look at your neighbor. Say, neighbor, wait right here. Help is on the way. I see light at the end of the tunnel. I see the water getting sweeter, sweeter, sweeter.